I am glad to welcome you to our last session. It is a panel, and it is about the future of safe and intelligent road asset management. The session is going to be conducted by Jesús Rodríguez. I am very honored to present Jesús. He has been the chairman of the Omicron External Advisory Board project. He has done a great job in Omicron, and he has helped us maximize the impact and the visibility of our project. So Jesús is the chairman of few external advisory board, not only in Omicron, but also he was in FORCI, he's already in Liaison, and also in the project Digitize. He's also the chairman of the Spanish mirror group Eurocode 2 on concrete structure. Previously he was the director of the research and development area in Dragados, ACS group, also was an associate professor of structure at Madrid Polytechnic University. So thank you very much, Jesús.
Thank you. Thank you for being here now, because it's a very long session, a very long conference. It is really a pleasure to be here. So I would like to invite the 6 panelists to move, if they don't mind, just to sit in here in the 6 seats in order to be with me during this panel session. We have a microphone, but I am looking forward to have at least another one, if possible. There are 2, okay. So at least you can share in one side. So are you going to project the... No, I mean the panelists, the photos of the panelists. Well, we are going to cover in this session, in this panel session, we decided together with the organizers of the conference to split the time in 4 topics. You have following the presentation of today, covering most of the relevant developments in the project, and now we decided to have some transversal topics in order to have a final review with the contribution of these 6 panelists. We are going to try to cover topics on safety, on data and digital technologies, on environmental and economic sustainability, and future of the road management. And for that, we have the pleasure to be with me 6 panelists. And one of the advantages to be the last, almost last session is that 4 of them have been introduced. So if you don't mind, I only will introduce those who are new on this forum. So we have with us Christian Honeger, that he studied civil engineering at the Technical University of Vienna, and initially he was working for an Austrian engineering office, but then he moved to ASFINAG, the concessionaire company that several participants have participated today in this conference, and in the InfraROB. He in ASFINAG has been head of planning department on technical strategy and technical coordinator, and now is head of the department of assess management. So he has, although initially in the consultant's work, he works also for the rail sector. Now he has a long experience in the road sector with a lot of activities on planning, technical strategy, asset management. And in the other side of the group, we have Yannis Handanos. He is a civil transportation engineer, and also I am interested on that, on master on European banking. So I appreciate this component. I have 2 sons that are engineers and also working for banks. So I would like to talk to you about it. He's a present quality and administrative support manager of the Olympia ODOS operation, responsible for the traffic and revenues analysis, the key performance indicators, monitoring, reporting on toll collections, traffic management, safety, routine maintenance, etc. and he has been collaborating with as consulting activities in a large number of transport planning and evaluation projects. So we are now entering in the topic of the roundtable. Let me only allow me to make a very short comment. I have the pleasure and the lucky to be the chairman of the External Advisory Board in the Omicron project. It has been an incredible experience. We organize workshops every 6 months, 6 workshops along the project, with the participation of External Advisory Board attendees between 40 and 70 participants in the workshops, and receiving contributions not only during the workshop, but also with some written feedback contributions. On behalf of the Omicron project, I would like to thank all the External Advisory Board. Some of the members are here today with us. So just I would like to move, and we organize this panel in a non-spontaneous way with 6 participants, and in a very short time we decided to organize in a prefabricated way, if you allow me. So now we move to the topic of the safety, and in the topic of the safety, thank you. In the topic of the safety, we are going to cover 3 items, if possible. The first one is just to realize the balance between safety improvement and cost and time for application of this innovation. And in this case, I would like, if you don't mind, Christian, to make a first remark. I asked them if they will be killed if they use more than 2 minutes, but I don't know if I will succeed.
I will try my best. Thank you very much. In my opinion, I don't think we need to think so much about the balance of safety and costs. Why? Because we have really increasing number of traffic, and we have aging infrastructure. So we have a lot of tasks to do on our roadside. And safety for our roadside workers and road users is quite important. And it's more and more demanding and a challenge to run construction sites or assessment of condition at the roadside in a safe way. So I think all the techniques the technologies and innovations we saw this day are really important and will enhance to ensure safety. And I think this is the point we should focus, because the costs during inspection and maintenance and so are less compared to the total lifespan costs from our infrastructure. So we have to think about this. Enhancing the safety is more important, even if you also you have to consider the public cost if you have accidents.
Thank you, Christian. Alejandro, what about integrating these safety improvement technologies in the strategies at national level? And regulations as well.
The way to proceed is actually through the tools that we have available at the administration, which is pretty much following the law of public procurement, which includes traditional tenders, as well including Association for Innovation, which is a figure contemplated under the law, and other tools such as the program of innovative public procurement and market consultations. And we also have other tools to not just to incorporate, but also to test innovation, such as sandboxes or the Orden Circular 122 of Declaration of Regulatory Exemptionality that allow us to test innovation and incorporate those innovations in our day-to-day.
Alejandro, thank you. You know that this morning also was commented, and then during the free time, that the position of the public administrations, national and European administrations, when dealing with special civil works is crucial for facilitating the application of the innovation, not only related to safety. Federico, as a road operator, do you think that there are some good possibilities, challenges with
regard
to safety.
Well, regarding safety, I believe that one of the key points is to demonstrate the effectiveness by comparing the current procedures with the new procedures, with a new innovative solution, and to push within the company to force and to change the as-is situation.
That's clear. Well, there were two comments coming from road operators, one comment coming. In this specific topic out of the program, I was thinking, Rade, because Rade, beside his position, he is the chairman of Commission 5 in IAPSE, and sorry, but this is a topic I am very interested related to the existing structure. So now we move to safety, but just to the level of safety of existing structures that here you have seen some of the developments, especially for survey, etc. Would you like to take the opportunity to add something with this regard?
Sure. Is it working now? Right?
Yes.
Sure, I can give some remarks there. We have, however, to think about one stuff that is very important here. The most of accidents and fatalities are not due to the bad infrastructure, but mostly due to the recklessness of the road users. So there are some studies on that. 95% are due to that, 5% are due to the infrastructure. With regard to that 5%, there are some issues with existing structures, of course. Not only with regard to their condition, which in some cases really can be bad and produce fatalities, but also with regard to the alignment of these structures, and also with the, for example, some of them they don't have stopping lanes, or some of them are really very narrow, and so on. So these things are actually one of the issues to deal with when we are dealing with safety. So how do we measure that? How do we say whether the safety interventions are okay or not okay? And there are several possibilities that. One of them is a so-called marginal cost concept, which says how much money do I need to save the last human life, right? And this marginal cost is used in natural hazards, but is also used in some other activities, in mechanical engineering, in the aircraft industry, and so on. Maybe this is something that we should think about it when we compare different interventions.
In my part-time as professor, I was always commenting that in structures that if there were some warnings, as soon as some structures are below the acceptable level of safety, a lot of light will be on. No comment.
Well, okay. If you just say it, unfortunately, some failures, recent failures, didn't announce themselves at all. And this is something we should think about as well. The one that just mentioned is Carola Bridge. That is something that is really was completely unannounced. And there are some of the recent sheer failure. One of them is actually in Austria that was completely unannounced. So this is something that we should think about as well.
Thank you. Shall we move to the second topic? So remain with the microphone because you are the first one to intervene. Now we move to the topic of data and digital technologies. And one of the questions we were dealing with is the requirements about the standardization, the data collection, analytics, sharing, all these problems. Could you add something on that?
Well, that's about standardized data. Now, there is one thing that we all can agree, right? And this is the geometry of existing physical infrastructure, right? So nobody is going to say we would like to present this physical infrastructure in some other way. It's there. It should be actually mapped into the digital world as versatile as possible. So this is one thing that we should actually hang on if we want like to standardize things, right? Because this is something we all agree upon. What does it mean actually in a pure world? It means that we have to move toward BIM in sense of 3D modeling as well, because based on that, we have a standard which nobody can argue about, and we can attach a lot of different information, also semantically not necessarily the same type to this infrastructure representation in the digital world. So standardized go along these lines, and also this applies for the conditions and also things that we all agree in Europe with regard, for example, for bridges, with regard to the serviceability and ultimate limit state, where we do have standards, we have to stick to them, and perhaps go a little bit away from condition states.
Thank you very much. Claudia, we move to the European policies, and well, we are interested in everything related to how to scale up from the projects. So what is your vision, your experience from the European Union perspective about how to scale up the results from this project to the perhaps real life?
We are today at the final event of a cluster of projects which started in 2020
Yes.
and looked at the future. We are in the future, correct? We are at the final event of a cluster of projects which started to look 5 years ago. And we are now stepping towards the future with new ideas. I came with plenty of ideas to share with you, but together we realized that the future needs to be now in order for the future to be tomorrow there as you wanted. And we all agreed on that everything that you want, from robots to new technologies to data, it's already here. So how we can support you more than what you've done by opening the calls for you to do the research and reach this place is to support you continuously and to be the contact point between you and what maybe it's happening someplace else in Europe that you are not aware of. And my position here and the struggle that I had to be here is to make you understand that the future will be and should be created by you. All of you, you are professional in your field. Some of you probably are members of working groups, technical working groups, at the national level or at European level. We all know how hard it is for a new technology, a new product to reach a meeting of a working group, to be presented and to be accepted by your community. So we are surrounded by experts in their field, but we are looking still at you because you are the future. You should bring your technologies there in the right working group to be next in line in the standardization. It's not me, the funding authority. I've put everything at your hand by giving you some money. We helped you to be in this consortia, to do the networking and the interaction between you. You did an amazing job. But still...
We have asked you your vision, not that you have to do something.
No. But then the vision is collaboration. And the vision is not only collaboration with me as the funding author, is the ball is still with you. The collaboration amongst you to take all these amazing projects to the next step. I can be helping you with getting more funds, from example, Innovation Fund. But you need to prove that you did an extra step. Claudia, I've been submitting this to the working group and it's accepted, it's in draft. I know you're looking at the clock. We are at the end of the day, so I might want to breathe a little bit to share with you. So please understand, our vision is your vision. We are interacting with you, and don't think that we are there closed in an office drafting calls which are further away from your hopes and dreams. So our vision is your vision. So we are here to help you, but the next step for you to get more funding is CEF, Connecting Euro Facilities, or it is Innovation Fund, or it is I don't know which angel that is available to fund you next. But the next is when you close the project, don't hide the project results in a draw, just work more on it. And by working more on it, interact with us and the community so you get the standards, or how I noted down here, new trainings for the workers to be skilled in what you've done. And then for the new startups, promote your project in the working groups that you are part of.
Thank you, Claudia. I am not going to kill you because you have spent more than 2 minutes, but it doesn't matter. So shall we move Sorry, I apologize. To Yannis, one of the problems during the projects, not only with regard to the digital technologies and data, is the difficulty to integrate in the company the new developments. In the case of the digital technologies, how do you see from the perspective of your company the integration of these developments in these projects?
Yes. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation to be here. It's a pleasure, and congratulations for the very nice, very well organized and interesting final event. Every change has problems, has reactions. It's difficult both for the public and for the employees to adapt. I think as an operation company, we should concentrate on a plan based on three main axes. The first one, I should say that it is the clear communication. We have to communicate to the public and to the employees what are these new technologies, what they do, which are their benefits, and of course how they're going to affect both of them. The second axis, I should say that should be emphasis on complementarity, that these technologies are here to be complementary to the human work and not to replace entirely. We can provide examples how new technologies and digital tools can be used in difficult conditions, in hazardous conditions, and so on. And the last one, I should say, that is stakeholders' engagement. First of all, we must have an awareness plan for the public to understand these technologies, and then to have all our employees engaged in discussions from the very beginning about these new technologies. First of all, because they will feel they will have a sense of ownership in this transition, and as it was mentioned at the morning panel, to introduce also training programs for them, how they will adapt at the needs of management, of operation, of maintenance, of all these new tools.
Thank you very much, Yannis. We need to move to the next topic. If there are some time at the end, we will ask some additional comments. The third topic is related to the environmental and economic sustainability. The project organizers were asking not only to cover the environmental but also the economic sustainability, no? And in this case, we asked initially Alejandro from the Spanish Ministry of Transport, again the balance. In one side, to need, we think that we need innovation. In the other side, if we need also to reduce environmental impact. How do you see this balance? It is clear.
There has to be a balance. I mean, sustainability is not a cost, it's an investment in resilience, in efficiency, in long-term success. And although it might entail longer implementation times or a higher initial cost, at the end of the day, the environmental, economic, and social benefits have to worth it and have to overweight the challenge. And taking that into account, actually, our director created our department, Sustainability and Innovation, and it is called Sustainability and Innovation because in the innovation side, we want to integrate those fast-paced waves of technological innovation, fostering efficiency, but on the other hand, the Sustainable Department wants to reach that long-term value creation. That being said, that value creation, I believe that has to be with some numbers, and there has to be an economic cost-benefit analysis or a business case, but it has to be measured too.
Claudia, what is your vision about, in this case, of the European Union funding for policy support and how to incentivize the road operators and the authorities to introduce these new approaches, this innovation in order to improve the environmental and economic sustainability.
Again, it's like a circle.
Yes, yes. We ask the authorities now.
Again, I'm coming back. So we are concluding projects which had challenges appearing along the way. You had the right stakeholders engaged, and you have the right feedback from them. So what we need, what I need at this level to support you next, is your policy feedback. You identify a standard, you identify a rule, you identify a gap which you know exactly how we should address it. And you propose it. And you enter in direct contact with me and my colleagues in different departments, and I share this with the policymakers. Next calls probably will be different, they will address some aspects. But again, I'm coming to you. It's impossible for me or for my colleagues or us as funding authority to really know your struggle if those struggles are not provided as feedback at the end of a project, at the end of a call that is concluded with project results. So I'm telling you that policy support comes upon request. We are not inventing what type of support you need. We need to know what type of support you need. We know that there are plenty of funding, national funding and European funding. We can't address with European funds all the gaps. It's understandable that some of the projects that are funded at the European level will address a helicopter view on the problems. Therefore, each individual project should provide policy feedback to us so we identify where we should look next. And it was all over this day that there is a need for new standards and new regulations. And these standards and these regulations that you identify that there is a need for future to change or to address the way they are, this I need to know. It's impossible for me to think alone without your feedback. So what I put not only in the project's hands now is the policy feedback, the document that you will provide the project officer to me at the end of the project that will be called Policy Feedback Omicron, Policy Feedback InfraROB, or Policy Feedback HERON, or even better, policy feedback of a cluster of 3 projects related to, and you provide me this document. I promise you that probably very soon you'll see new calls addressing some of your challenges and gaps, and we found that. It's the only thing that can be done at this level. And then I've represented a national road authority in the past. I can tell you for a fact, each individual country has each individual national scheme of funding. I can't answer for everyone, but I'm sure that there is still possibility to interact with all the right stakeholders in every country, and this should be done, not only with the funding authority, the Commission. Again, I took too much time.
Thank you very much, Claudia.
Sorry.
We have 1 minute extra, and I will put on the table a question. Sustainability is a large concept, but for sustainability, just to start with, we need to be to develop durability, I mean durable infrastructures. The question when we are dealing with new materials, with new recycling approaches, etc., is what about the durability in the civil works that we are dealing with 50, 100 years life? A comment from someone? Do you think that we cover durability enough and our developments fulfill the durability requirements?
Let's maybe wrap it up in resilience, maybe. Durability and resilience. Because now we are talking about climate change, and durability needs to look at resilience as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a matter of innovating every day and interacting and testing, and at the end only time will tell, from my perspective.
Thank you. Yes, please, Alejandro.
May I make a comment? From our perspective, every innovation has some risk entail, because innovation, it doesn't match always with success. And well, depending on what kind of innovation you make, it has a higher risk or a lower risk. For instance, recycling in new bitumen mixtures, the recycling that we do is with agregados, reciclados. Aggregates, yes, with recycled aggregates from existing mixtures. So actually the risk is pretty low. I don't know if that's...
Now we don't have time to continue this interesting discussion. We are going to finish this panel with 4 interventions covering these 2 topics. We have covered in some way, but your views on the cost benefit of adopting today this innovation, these innovative technologies related to improving safety and perhaps increasing the cost, although you had a different comment. So here we thought that first Rade and then Yannis perhaps would like to add something.
Well, first, just a small remark regarding sustainability. The question here arises, can you teach an old dog new tricks? So that's the same thing. Can we teach old infrastructure new tricks? And this is about how to teach the new tricks. To your question, cost-benefit, I think the main point here is how do we define benefit? For example, if you look at the inspections, which are very important, this is actually just an information that you get. So information itself is not going to improve infrastructure, but information can give you a possibility to do better decision, and this decision may cost less on the long term than you what you invest into getting this information. So the value information is one of the hinges that I think that's very important. So improved safety for highest cost, yes, you can higher costs, but not in the long term, because you're investing in something in order to get better decision. This value information is, I think, the crucial thing when you're talking about benefit cost.
Thank you. Yannis, beside this question, if you don't mind, we were commenting in our preliminary meeting that you were also interested to add something about the climate change. If you want, as a second part of your intervention.
That I agree with what it was just said about cost-benefit analysis, because from one hand, technologies may have a significant upfront capital cost, and it is an investment. But on the other hand, we have to check which are the savings also from a long-term operational cost that we may have. And on the other hand, technologies may help, for example, in minimizing, reducing accidents, injuries, fatalities. This is also a significant social cost that has to be taken into account as a benefit. Also, it may help on the reduction of footprint, of carbon footprint. And we know that this is very high at the agenda of all companies and governments, etc. And the last one, exactly what you asked, some of these technologies can help our road infrastructure systems to be more robust against climate change difficulties and challenges that we face. In Greece, we had last year, 1.5 years ago, a big catastrophe at Thessaly area from fluids, etc. In our motorway, every year, the main problems are the physical phenomena, the fires that we have during the summer, and then the fluids that we have during the winter. Technologies that can help on this aspect are very important, and they can help on what we say sustainable and resilient transport systems, and this cost has to be considered in all cost-benefit analysis.
Perhaps you know that we in Spain have suffered recently incredible flooding.
Valencia, yes,
There are in the room some participants from Valencia with a large number of dead people, and just as an indicator, 120,000 destroyed cars. Just to give you, better not to repeat about homes, offices, agriculture destroyed. So moving or continues the vision of the road operators, one of the questions when we finish the projects is how in medium term. So how do you see, Christian first and then Federico, the inspection and maintenance in 10, 20 years? Do you see as today, do you think that there will be some improvements? Some of the technologies that you are participating are of interest to be used? Do you see a different scenario?
Yes, because I want to be a little bit provocative. Because I was inspired by the statement from Claudia, which I appreciate a lot. Because before answering, I will put a big if. No? If we as a community we will be able to push through the policy feedback, through forcing our regulators in understanding the capability and the effectiveness of new technologies, probably in 10 years we as a road operator, we are looking to remove people from roads, road workers, so minimizing the time, the risky time for our road workers on the road, no? So we are looking for autonomous vehicles or better, autonomous machinery for new payment, for payment refurbishment. We're looking for a robotic platform to pose and remove cones. So we are more and more searching for a new robotic solution, because safety is our priority and these operations are quite dangerous. This is our scenarios in 10 years.
Thank you. Christian.
I totally agree. So I want to add another topic. One thing I'm really sure we need also in the future well-educated and experienced engineers to do the maintenance work. Yeah? All the innovation won't replace this need of good experts in the road sector. So this is important. And we should focus on using all these possibilities to enhance our knowledge about the working field and have more accurate information and can do the job more coming to the point. Yeah? This might be really important. And when thinking about our showcases from ASFINAG, I think ITS service, all the car sector is moving a lot, all the assistance systems. So I think the situation of traffic will be much different in the future, and facilitating all these possibilities for road safety and for getting information from the roadside, not only concerning safety, also concerning the infrastructure. I think we will be able in 10, 20 years to use all this and have accurate data to do our decisions and prepare our work, so that the exposement to roadside during traffic will be minimized and also the safety will be increased.
Thank you. Education has been introduced in one of the comments. Before closing the panel, some of you want to add something very short?
Yes, one statement. Let's start to copy Chinese. Because, it's not a joke. It's a joke, but not a joke. Because a couple of months ago, 3 months ago, if I'm not wrong, I read the news that Chinese put into operation, I told you before, a pavement refurbishment of 148 kilometers of highway. It was not a proof of concept, it was not a minimum viable product, not a prototype, it was operation. So, I mean, of course I'm provocative right now because we have to deal with our institutions, and I'm glad again to see that European Commission is on our side. We have to be less engineers and more, common men of the road in order to say, look, these innovations are useful for not only saving money. Okay, let's put away the hat of Autostrade per l'Italia, no? Innovations are useful for the safety of people, no? So it's my final statement before...
I fully agree. Any other comment? Is there in the room someone at this late time to intervene or to address some question?
Don't be shy. We know.
Well, I think that it is too late in order to... So I would like to come back to the title of the panel, and due to the amount of kilometers of roads, highways that we have in our network, and the limit available amount of funds for maintenance, it is clear that we need to apply safe and intelligent road management. So this is not something that we would like to do, even to do business, but it is really a need because the amount of existing infrastructure is really too large. And coming back to education, because I am very sensible of that, one of the problems that we have is that we are having a lot of problems in most of the countries to get interest in this field, not only for the design and building new infrastructure, but to maintain, to intervene, to improve, to enlarge, to upgrade. So we need to ask young people that the future is for them to be interested on the topic. So I would like just to finish this panel. Thank you to the organizers of this conference. I am absolutely surprised by the way they have been able to control the time of all the today. It is for me not known before. Finally, I would like to thank the 6 of you that you were supporting me in several emails and just trying to coordinate. Thank you very much for participating here with us.